Throughout history, great civilizations have risen and fallen, leaving behind stories of both splendor and ruin. These ancient societies, with their towering structures and intricate cultures, have always fascinated us. They serve as a reminder of human potential and the impermanence of even the mightiest empires. But what truly determines whether a civilization will stand the test of time? Is it their technological advancements, their military prowess, or perhaps their economic stability? While these factors are undoubtedly important, they are not the sole determinants of a civilization's longevity. While economic prosperity and military strength certainly play a part, there is a fundamental element often overlooked: the moral compass of its people. This moral compass is not just a set of rules or guidelines, it is the collective conscience of a society guiding its actions and decisions. Morality, you see, is the very bedrock of human interaction. It is the foundation upon which trust is built, and without trust, no society can function effectively. When people adhere to a shared set of moral values, they are more likely to cooperate, resolve conflicts peacefully, and work towards common goals. It provides the framework for a just, harmonious, and flourishing society. Laws and institutions can only do so much. It is the moral fabric of a society that ensures these laws are respected and upheld. In ancient times, forums and public squares were not just places of trade, but also of dialogue and justice, where the moral values of the community were reinforced. It guides our actions, shapes our values, and defines our sense of right and wrong. From a young age, individuals are taught the importance of honesty, integrity, and respect. These lessons are passed down through generations, creating a continuous thread of moral guidance that binds the community together. Think of it as the invisible glue that binds individuals together, fostering trust, cooperation, and mutual respect. In times of crisis, it is this moral glue that holds the community together, enabling them to face challenges with unity and resilience. When morality is strong, societies thrive. They become beacons of culture, innovation, and progress. The bustling marketplaces, thriving harbours, and vibrant communities of ancient cities are a testament to the strength of their moral foundations. When it weakens, the very foundations of civilization begin to crumble. Corruption, greed, and social unrest start to take root, eroding the trust and cooperation that once held the society together. The once majestic structures and bustling streets fall into decay, serving as a stark reminder of what was lost. The rise and fall of empires throughout history, from the Roman Empire to the Mayan civilization, stand as testament to this truth. These great societies, despite their advancements and achievements, were not immune to the consequences of moral decay. Their ruins tell a story of internal strife, weakened by the erosion of their core values. Internal decay, often marked by the erosion of moral values, corruption, greed, and social unrest, weakened these societies from within, making them vulnerable to collapse. As nature reclaims these once great cities, we are reminded of the fragile balance that sustains civilization. It is a balance that hinges not just on power and wealth, but on the moral integrity of its people. Moral decay is not a sudden event, but a gradual erosion that often goes unnoticed until its consequences become too severe to ignore. It begins subtly, with a shift in values, a blurring of the lines between right and wrong, and a growing tolerance for dishonesty and unethical behavior. As moral decay sets in, individuals become increasingly self-centered, prioritizing personal gain over the well-being of others. The pursuit of pleasure and material wealth overshadows virtues like honesty, integrity, and compassion. This shift in priorities creates a breeding ground for corruption, greed, and a decline in social responsibility. The consequences of this moral decline are far-reaching. Social bonds weaken as trust evaporates. Dishonesty becomes rampant, poisoning relationships, institutions, and society as a whole. The very fabric of civilization, woven together by shared values and mutual respect, begins to unravel. The consequences of moral decline are not merely theoretical. They manifest in tangible ways that directly impact our lives. One of the most immediate and alarming consequences is a rise in crime and violence. When moral constraints weaken, Individuals are more likely to engage in harmful and destructive behavior. Respect for the law diminishes and acts of theft, assault, and even murder become more commonplace. The very foundations of a safe and orderly society are shaken, leaving citizens living in fear and uncertainty. Beyond the immediate threat to physical safety, moral decline also erodes the social fabric of a civilization. Social cohesion, built on shared values and a sense of community, disintegrates as individuals become increasingly isolated and distrustful of one another. This fragmentation leads to social unrest, as different groups, each with their own set of values, clash in a struggle for power and influence. Section 4. The illusion of subjective morality. In an attempt to rationalize moral decline, some argue for a subjective approach to morality, suggesting that right and wrong are fluid concepts open to individual interpretation. They believe that what is considered moral or immoral can vary greatly depending on cultural, social, and personal contexts. This perspective posits that there are no absolute truths in morality, only individual perspectives that are equally valid. This relativistic view, while seemingly liberating, is ultimately a dangerous illusion. It creates a landscape where moral standards are constantly shifting, making it difficult to establish any consistent ethical framework. In such a world, actions that are deemed acceptable today might be condemned tomorrow, leading to confusion and instability. Subjective morality, by its very nature, lacks a firm foundation. It is like building a house on sand, where the ground beneath is always shifting. Without a stable base, the structure is prone to collapse. Similarly, a society built on subjective morality is vulnerable to moral decay and disintegration. Without a shared understanding of right and wrong, society becomes a chaotic battleground of competing interests, where might makes right and the strong prey on the weak. In such an environment, power dynamics dominate, and those with the most influence impose their will on others, often at the expense of justice and fairness. Justice becomes arbitrary, fairness an illusion, and the very notion of a common good is lost in a sea of individual desires. When everyone is guided by their own subjective moral compass, the idea of a collective moral standard that benefits society as a whole becomes unattainable. This fragmentation leads to a breakdown in social cohesion and trust. Moreover, subjective morality fails to provide the moral clarity and guidance that individuals need to navigate the complexities of life. In a world where moral guidelines are ambiguous and ever-changing, people struggle to make decisions that align with a coherent set of values. This lack of direction can lead to moral confusion and ethical dilemmas. Without a clear moral compass, we are left adrift in a sea of ethical dilemmas, unsure of how to act or what values to uphold. This uncertainty can be paralyzing, making it difficult for individuals to take decisive action or stand up for what they believe is right. The absence of a stable moral framework leaves people feeling lost and directionless. This uncertainty can lead to anxiety, moral paralysis, and a sense of meaninglessness. When individuals are unable to find a solid ground for their moral beliefs, they may experience a profound sense of disorientation and existential angst. The quest for meaning becomes a daunting challenge in a world where moral truths are seen as subjective and fluid. Section 5. Objective morality, the anchor of civilization. In contrast to the shifting sands of subjective morality, objective morality offers a firm and unchanging foundation upon which to build a just and flourishing society. Subjective morality, much like the ever-changing dunes of a desert, is influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. It can vary greatly from one individual to another, leading to a fragmented and often conflicting set of moral guidelines. This lack of consistency can result in a society where justice is arbitrary and fairness is compromised. Objective morality recognizes the existence of universal moral truths, truths that stand the test of time and transcend individual perspectives. These truths are akin to the majestic mountains that remain steadfast and unyielding, providing a clear and reliable reference point for all. Principles that are inherently right or wrong, much like the natural laws that govern the universe. Just as the sun rises each day, bringing light and clarity, objective moral principles illuminate the path to a just and harmonious society. Regardless of individual beliefs or cultural norms, these principles remain constant. They serve as a common ground upon which diverse communities can build mutual respect and understanding. In a multicultural society, objective morality acts as a bridge, connecting people from different backgrounds and fostering a sense of unity. These truths are not arbitrary, but are grounded in the very nature of reality, much like the deep roots of an ancient oak tree that provide stability and nourishment. They are embedded in the fabric of existence, reflecting the fundamental order of the universe. And the inherent dignity of every human being. Just as the stars in the night sky follow a precise and orderly pattern, objective moral truths guide human behavior in a way that honors the intrinsic worth of each individual. Objective morality provides a clear and unwavering compass, guiding our actions, shaping our laws, and fostering a sense of justice and fairness for all. This moral compass helps us navigate the complexities of life, ensuring that our decisions and actions are aligned with universal principles of right and wrong. It fosters a sense of justice and fairness for all, creating a legal system that is impartial and equitable. When laws are grounded in objective morality, they reflect a commitment to upholding the rights and dignity of every individual, regardless of their background or status. It is this objective moral order that forms the bedrock of a civilized society. Just as a strong foundation supports a building, objective morality supports the structures of our social institutions, ensuring their stability and integrity. It provides the framework for a just legal system, one that is fair and impartial. The scales of justice symbolize this balance, where laws are applied consistently and without bias, ensuring that everyone is treated equally under the law. Ensures equal rights and opportunities for all, promoting a society where everyone has the chance to thrive. When objective moral principles are upheld, they create an environment where individuals can pursue their potential without fear of discrimination or injustice, and promotes a sense of shared responsibility for the well-being of the community. This sense of responsibility encourages people to work together for the common good, fostering a spirit of cooperation and mutual support. Without this moral anchor, civilization drifts towards chaos and ultimately self-destruction. The absence of objective moral principles leads to a breakdown in social order, where selfishness and conflict prevail, and the very fabric of society begins to unravel. Therefore, it is imperative that we recognize and uphold these universal moral truths, for they are the anchor that holds our civilization steady amidst the ever-changing tides of human experience. By committing to objective morality, we ensure a future where justice, fairness, and human dignity are preserved for generations to come.